properly. Right, okay, so here we go. I want you to have a little seat on your chair for me, please. Don't sit right against the back. Bring yourself forward so that you're able to place your feet firmly on the floor. This is not going to help me. I just want you to bend down and hug your knees. Okay, so hugging your knees and then just rolling over as low as you possibly can. Okay, you hopefully will just feel that lower back relaxing. Now from here, stay hugging your knees. Just want you to try and lift your head and your chest up and forwards. And then again, stay hugging your knees. Pull away so you're really rounding into that lower back. So you're hugging your knees to keep your body low, pressing into that lower back. Good, and again, relaxing that chest, lifting the chin, opening out the lower back, and rounding into the back as well. Relax and come up. So if you're spending a lot of time sitting at a desk, especially when we're working from home a lot, that lower back can get really, really tight. So what we're going to do here as well is just take a rotation. So you can use the chair to help to just pull you around. Try and feel like you're corkscrewing up though, rather than down. So don't sink. Try and lift that posture up. You know, I'm always talking about that good posture as we rotate the spine. And then again, we go round to the back, pull and twist. Good. Once again, each side, pull and twist. And round we go, up and round. Good. So now turning just a little bit side on to one chair. I want you to take one leg and just try and straighten it out behind you. So you're just barely perching on the chair here, but it's a really nice way of just subtly opening out that lower leg. Okay? If you want to increase the stretch, again, you can twist towards the chair. That may be too much for some of you, so just take it carefully. And then we're going to move over to the other side. Just gently perching on the chair, press one leg back. Rotating around if you want to, if not, that's fine. Just really opening out that lower leg. Using the chair here is just going to help you balance. And then finally returning to the first stretch that we did. So hugging the knees, hanging down, lifting up. And relax. And now pull away from the legs and really pull into that lower back. Oh, that's a good lower back stretch. Once again, down as low as you can, lifting the chin up. And relax. And rounding into the back. Good. And come to sitting. Nice, okay, so you can move the chair away to one side now. I'll just pop that in there. Good. So standing now with the legs quite wide, so they really sort of don't slip, but you do want to have your legs quite wide. Taking one toe and turning it out to the side of the room. Now watch this hip, it will have wanted to open out with the foot. Try and keep both of these hip bones pointing forwards, taking the arms up, keep your legs straight, push your hip out and bend over towards that leg. Now again, how low you go really depends on your own personal flexibility. We're all slightly different, but the lower you go, the more you're going to feel that stretch through the hip and through the waist. Just hold it there if you can. And coming up. Bringing the toe in, and we're going to turn that other toe out to the side. I hope you can see my feet. Sorry, the dog has just decided he's going to sit right there. So, taking those arms up. Again, push the hip out. Up and over. All the way, if you can. If you're going all the way over, try and keep both shoulders one on top of the other. There's a temptation to allow that body to flop forwards. Really try and hold that chest wide and open. And then coming up to standing. Bringing both toes facing forwards now. And just allow yourself to hang straight down the centre. Again, keeping the legs as straight as you can. Your head should be heavy. You can nod your head as if you're saying yes to release some of that tension. And then take the body just over towards one leg and pull yourself down with that slight rotation. Coming into the centre, moving over to the other side. Keep that head nice and heavy. Coming into the centre, relaxing the knees and then really rounding the spine, really rounding that back. Press, 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 press. Coming up to standing, rolling those shoulders back, standing tall and strong. Nice, well done. So we're going to go down onto the floor now. If you've got a hard floor like me, then I would recommend a mat just to protect your knees from the floor. Also, when I'm working particularly with stretches, when I'm working on the floor, I prefer to be barefoot. Not sure why, that's just kind of how I operate. So while we're down on the floor, you're going to need your scarf. Now this isn't for everyone, but this is definitely a really useful aid if flexibility is not your strong point. It can be really helpful. Benji, please go away. It can be really, really helpful. So you're going to have your legs out in front of you. So we're sitting in this pine position. I hope you're all enjoying this because, yeah, on the mat. Perfect. This is great. This is perfect. So you're using a scarf. I just want you to place that underneath the insteps of your feet. Okay, if I go side on, I'm sharing my mat with a dog. This is ridiculous. Okay, so sitting up really nice and tall. I want you to really make sure you're lifting up through that lower back. Wind the scarf around the hands, okay? And again, depending how low you go, this is all down to your own flexibility. Just use your hips like a hinge and use the scarf. Allow that to really help you pull down lower, hopefully, than you would usually be able to go. Hold it here. Feel the back, feel the legs. Release. Give yourself a moment. As we go down again, just really try and make sure the abdominals are nice and long so the chest is pressing forwards. Pull yourself down. Try and make sure you're breathing deeply as you're here. And although the legs are straight, they're not locked. So if you can, try to release any tension in the kneecaps. Just hold and breathe. And coming up to sitting. So you're going to keep the scarf underneath the instep of just one of the feet now. And that foot's going to come out at a bit of an angle from you. The other leg is going to tuck in. The other leg is going to tuck in, okay? So from here, we're going to wind ourselves down again, using the scarf to help. Both hands, so that not only are you going forwards, but there's a little bit of a rotation here. So again, using that scarf to pull yourself down. You should still be able to breathe deeply, so keep the abdominals nice and long. The knee, again, it's straight, but it's not locked. Relax. Give yourself a moment. And down we go again. And up. Nice, well done. So switching over to the other leg. Just out at a slight angle, bringing the other leg in. And it doesn't have to be all the way in. You know, this again, it's just work to your own level. Please make sure that although stretching should be uncomfortable and you should really challenge yourself, make sure that you're not over exerting yourself and you're not going to cause injury by over stretching the muscles. So you've really got to listen to your body here. I don't need to be licked in the face. Pull yourself down. Pull yourself down. Feel that slight rotation as well as the stretch in the leg. And relax. And again, down we go. All the way. And up. Good. Nice. Now with this one, both legs now are going to be opening out at an angle. So again, however wide they go, this is completely up to you, depending on your own flexibility. What the key thing here I want you to think about is the lower back. So what you'll find is that you may feel that the pelvis has almost rolled underneath you. Try and feel like that pelvis is actually rotated backwards so that the tailbone is straight down and you're actually able to lift the chest straight up. Now this may mean that your legs are not quite as wide as they could go, but it's more important that you focus on the form and the way that the pelvis is. This is not going to work. Try and press the legs out, and then gently, if you can, for some of you just sitting like this is enough of a stretch, but if you can, just a little walk forwards, just again as low as you can. Make sure the toes stay pointed up to the ceiling. Down we go. Just hold for a moment. Make sure you're breathing as you're down there, relaxing. Again, the knees are straight, but they're not locked. Coming up, bringing those legs together, and just give them a little bit of a jiggle. Swinging these two legs into one side. I'm going to take the mermaid stretch. So you can use the hand here to hold on to the ankles, just as a little bit of extra support. The arm comes up. Try and keep the shoulder nice and open as we stretch over the top. So again, try not to come forwards. Try and imagine that you're really staying sort of in between a wall, if you like. So that shoulder is really wide, and it may mean you don't go as low, but you're going to really get more benefit from the stretch. Good, relax. And again, up and over. And open. Round we go to the other side. Arm comes up. Keep that shoulder as open as you can, over the top. And out. And again, up. And over. And round. Good. So just coming over now onto all fours. So I want you to focus when you're on all fours, making sure that you've got a wrist and shoulder are in line, and the knee and the hip. So we don't want to be forwards here in this position. Try and make sure that you're well supported. Take one hand, pop it through the gap there between the knee and the wrist, and just push it through, push it through. Just see how low you can go, rotating all the way down and around. If you can, relaxing that head onto the floor, keeping your bum high. And coming up, well done, good. The other hand then, placing it through that gap, pushing it down and around, relaxing down, feeling that nice rotation in the spine. And up. Lay yourself out flat now onto your tummy. Wrists or hands, I should say, underneath the shoulders, and just press up. The focus here is not on arching the spine, but is on trying to elongate the abdominals. So focus more on the abs stretching out more than the spine arching up. Okay, so your head is going more forwards at a diagonal, so rather than just focusing on arching the back, try and really focus here on lengthening up through the abdominals. Relax down, and then just press yourself back. Place your knee towards your bum, around the back over the other way. Good. And from here come up onto one knee. Make sure this is a nice wide stance, so as we press forwards, I don't want to see the knee going over the toes here, because that could be quite detrimental to the knee joint. So you want to have a nice big gap so that as you press forwards, the knee remains back. Focus on your 2 hip bones, pushing straight forwards, so don't rotate and twist around. Make sure you're pushing forwards. If this is tricky, or you've got a bad knee, or you prefer to not be in this position, you can come into a lunge here. Just make sure that your thigh isn't taking too much of the pressure. So again, make this work for you the best way it can. Push the bum back, keeping it high in the air, lift the toes off the floor and just reach your chest again. So we don't want to round the back here, we want to keep it open as we're pressing down. So really focus on trying to keep long and open, so you should still be able to breathe. The hips are working like a hinge. Nice, and we're swinging round over onto the other side. Again, making sure we've got that nice big gap here, so it's a wide step. The hip bones are both pressing straight forwards. Tailbone is down, chest is up. Same thing on this side. If you want to tuck that toe underneath, of course you can. The focus really is on this hip, opening out this hip joint. And then again, press the bum back, keeping it high and reaching down. So we're not hunching over, we're pressing down and forwards. So the focus is really on keeping that chest lifted and long. Good, very nice. Coming back down and round, legs out in front of us. Taking one leg and bending it over the top of the other. So for this one, again, depending on your own flexibility, it can be right up tight in towards you, or it can be extended out. Just work to where it fits you best. Place one hand behind your back. The other hand crosses over that knee, and then you can use those two to press yourself around. And same as when we were sitting on the chair, try and feel like you're corkscrewing up towards the ceiling. So we don't want to be down here as we stretch. We want to try and lift the chest up, grow through the crown of the head. Relax, take it over to the other side. Cross that over. Hand comes in. Press and rotate. Good. While the legs are out in front of you, if you've got your scarf nearby and you want to use that, grab it again. I'm not going to use the scarf this time, but the same stretch that we did when we first came onto the floor. Again, hips like a hinge, chest stays long and relaxing down. Hopefully feeling a little bit more flexible than we did at the start of the session. You may find that you're actually able to go down just that little bit further, just a little bit. Hold it there, breathe, not too much tension in those kneecaps. Good, coming up, and just give those legs a little jiggle, and again pressing down. Relax, relax, relax.